Hello, everybody. It's Marcus from PageProof here to go through a PageProof Academy. This time, we're going to go through how to maximize the plan that you're on. So this Academy, it follows on from the one we had last month, which we talked about the team administrator features and some of the things that you can switch on and switch off. What we thought we'd do is, hey, for you, those of you which are on a Teams plan or Teams Plus or Enterprise, here's what you can get out of your plan. How do you maximize your plan? Because it's pretty important, I think, to get the most out of what it is that you have. And of course, there's a little piece which is also showing you what is available on the plans above, which may or may not be something that you need to know. So let's get straight in and take a look at the PageProof plans. Now, I am just going to quickly point out, we won't be spending much time on this page, but here we have the PageProof pricing page. So if you go to pageproof.com/pricing and you scroll down, you'll see there is a grid here which shows you all the different features and which plan they're on and all that sort of thing. Look, you can take your time. I'm not going to go through this. There's a lot inside of here, but it goes through each of the plans, which feature is in which plan. And if you click onto or hover over the little question mark here, it'll tell you what that feature is. But let's just go through some of the highlights I will take you through so you don't have to look at this. All right, so here I am inside of PageProof. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to start off talking about the Teams plan, then we'll talk about the Teams Plus plan, and then we'll talk about the Enterprise plan so that everybody gets a little piece out of it. Now, PageProof for Teams is a fixed set of features. Okay, you can't extend it, you can't change it. It literally has this set of features, and that's it. And that's why it's our entry-level plan. And what that lets you do essentially is all the proofing features that you need in order to do proofing with your organization and your team. So we'll cover over a lot of those. Teams Plus, which is the plan up. Teams Plus is the same as Teams, except it comes with some extended features, and you can bolt in extra features that you might want into that plan. So the plus for Teams Plus means you can plus it, you can add to it. Enterprise, very clearly, is Enterprise. So this is where we've got features which are more in line with what you would need for some of the high-end use of PageProof. So we do have a lot of very high-end enterprise features there, and we'll cover off a touch of those as you want. So Teams, entry-level plan, fully featured, really great plan. Teams Plus, you can extend it by plussing it up. And then Enterprise for those that work in the enterprise space. So that's how those plans are laid out. So let's start with Teams. So some of the things that you should be understand when it comes to PageProof for Teams is that there are no restrictions on your file types. There's no restrictions on how many workflow templates you can have. So there's a whole lot of things about PageProof for Teams where it has no restrictions on it, and that carries through to Teams Plus and Enterprise as well. So a good thing to note, we support all of your creative file types. So, Illustrator, InDesign, Photoshop, TIFFs, video, Figma prototypes. You can put Microsoft Office documents in, do websites, you can do everything. So there's no restrictions there at all. And when it comes to your workflows and workflow templates, you can have as many stages of your workflow, and you can have as many workflow templates as you like. So those are some of the things which are sort of table stakes to the PageProof for Teams plan. But some of the things that you may not be aware of. So for example, if you're a team administrator and you go into team and you come down to settings, you can tell which team plan you're on, by the way, if you go to your profile. Your profile will tell you, and you can see the team plan here is showing me which one we belong to. So if I actually go into my profile, it's going to say which team plan you're on. So just to let you know that is where you see which team you're on, just go into your profile. Now for team administrators, as I was saying, go into see intelligence. Now, PageProof Intelligence is something that PageProof for Teams license holders can take advantage of today. You have access to PageProof Intelligence SmartTags. What SmartTags do is they essentially, when you upload any static media into PageProof, we will then pull out any keywords which we think will improve your search. So that is the smart tags. So you can come in, switch on intelligence, switch on smart tags, and that's available on the Teams plan today. There's a new feature arriving, pretty big announcement next week. It is part of PageProof Intelligence, so we're extending the intelligence suite with a new feature. That new feature, I know, is going to be available on the Teams plan as well. So next week, we will be announcing a huge new feature, which is part of PageProof Intelligence, and that will be available on the Teams plan, Teams Plus, and Enterprise. So we're giving it to all of you. So, okay, next thing to go through. When you go into your Teams settings, you'll notice that there are proof templates and checklists. Now, proof templates, this is a feature which people don't realize what it does, and this is super cool. Now, on a Teams license, you can have 2 templates for proofs, and you can have 2 checklist templates as well. So you can go in and use these features. One thing you can do with these, if you want to, is you're able to set these up and they're available for your whole team to use. So when you go to the proof setup screen, what it means, it's an efficiency thing. So if I come into here and I want to set up a new proof, let's come in and drag a file in, shall we? And just have a quick look. So if I drag in a file here, up the top of the screen, these are my proof templates. Now, I'm obviously on a higher plan than PageProof for Teams. I'm on Enterprise. So you can have up to 2 templates active for a PageProof for Teams license. And what it does is when you choose the template, boom, the whole screen gets set. Boom. So we've actually templatized this entire setup screen, including the workflow and tags, everything. So what we recommend, if you haven't used that, this is something that you will be able to use. So PageProof proof templates, you're able to have 2 templates active here. And the same with the checklists. You can have 2 active checklist templates to choose from in the Teams plan. So do take advantage of those because they are there for you to use. So that is one thing. Proof templates, definitely something to take advantage of. Available in Teams, Teams Plus, and Enterprise. 2 available for Teams, 10 available for Teams Plus, and then for Enterprise, it's unlimited templates. So definitely worth taking advantage of. Okay, next thing, Adobe extensions. Something I think a lot of people didn't realize when it comes to the Teams plans or any of the plans in PageProof is that the Adobe extensions are available on all plans. There's no restriction here. So if you've got a file, this PageProof panel is available in all plans, Teams, Teams Plus, and Enterprise. This PageProof panel that you see here gives you an insight into your PageProof so you can bring changes into your design applications. So this is definitely something to take advantage of, and it works. There's support for InDesign, Illustrator, Photoshop, Premiere Pro, After Effects, and also Final Cut Pro is arriving very, very soon. So all of those applications are supported, again, on the Teams plan. So definitely take advantage of the Adobe extensions inside your Teams plan. Really, really great. And there will be other extensions for other applications coming up very rapidly over the next quarter. So something definitely to take a look at. All right, let's move on to the next thing, integrations. So in your Teams plan, you can turn on integrations with a whole bunch of different tools, and it's available for you to use. So if you go to integrations, again, for the team admins, it'll show you all of the integrations that you can connect to. So if you see any icons here that you want to connect your PageProof to, you can. So the Teams plan has all of these integrations available. We do not restrict and make you move up a plan to integrate with Monday.com, for example. You can use the Teams plan to connect to Monday.com or connect to Asana or connect to others that you can see in this list. So again, you are unrestricted when it comes to integrating your product based on this integrations feature, which is available in Teams, Teams Plus, and Enterprise. So those are some of the highlights, I think, of the Teams plan that we see that people aren't necessarily taking full advantage of, but that will give you a really good insight into what you can do. Right. So that's the Teams plan. Gives you all the features you need. Now let's look at the Teams Plus. So what does Teams Plus give you? Well, Teams Plus gives you a bunch of things out of the box. So if you upgrade from Teams to Teams Plus, you now get 10 templates for proof templates, and you get 10 checklist templates. So it just instantly bumps up those two. So now you've got more templates that your team can choose from. You also get single sign-on. So single sign-on now becomes active for your plan. So that's put in there. That means that you can connect PageProof to your corporate identity system, something IT will love. And it means that you can single sign-on into your corporate identity system, I don't know, Azure or Okta or something like that, and then PageProof will auto sign in. So single sign-on becomes available in Teams Plus. And the third thing that you get when you go to Teams Plus is an address book. So right now, when you go and type into a field where you put an email address, it shows you the people that you've typed email addresses to before. It's great, but it would be great if I could also see all of the other people in my team. Well, that feature is available in Teams Plus. So it lets you turn on the ability in the settings. You can have this global address book. So you're able to turn that on, and you're able to have that available. So you can see here, address book, include team members. So you're able to turn that on, and that means that your team members will be suggested in your entering your email addresses. So definitely something to consider if you do have a whole lot of people in your team and you would love them to show up in that autocomplete. There is that feature available there. So that is inside Teams Plus. Of course, I talked about extensibility. Like, I have a Teams Plus plan and I want to add some other features in. So there is a list of extensions that you can add. They do have a small fee attached to them, but it means that you can now cherry pick in the things that you want into your PageProof plan. So what I'll do is we'll switch up to Enterprise, and I'll talk about some of the things you can cherry pick from Enterprise into your Teams Plus plan. So you don't have to go to the outlay of Enterprise necessarily to get private comments, for example. So you can have Teams Plus and option in private comments. So let's go and take a look at some of the options that you can put into your Teams Plus plan and some of the things that are obviously available inside of Enterprise. So let's get in and take a look at that. You'll see inside of here, there are a few things that you can switch on. Some of these will not be available for you. You won't see these in your plan, but one of them is the private comments feature. So you can see here, private comments. Now, private comments is an enterprise feature. What this does is it lets you place comments that you can mark as private, and only people in your team can see those comments. People external to your team won't see the comments. So it means that if you're in a design team and you've got 5 of you in the PageProof team, and you're sending proofs out to the rest of the business. Now, those people might be external, they could be customers, or it could be just inside a corporate setup. You can all message each other inside PageProof using the comments and marking them as private. And then only the 5 of you will see that because you're the only ones in the PageProof team. So if we take a look at, for example, if I jump in and we take a look at a particular proofing screen, and I go and place a comment. So if I just say, for example, just circle this here, and then you'll notice it comes up and I say comment, there's a little icon here. It says visible to everyone, or I can just turn that off. And when you add it, it puts up here, that's a private comment. And you hover over, it says, this is visible to users in your team, which is super useful. So you can talk about maybe a change someone's asking for, you can have a private conversation about that. So you can option private comments into your Teams Plus plan. So as I said, there's a small fee for it, but it means you can cherry pick private comments into your Teams Plus plan, it's included in Enterprise. Just by default, it's part of an Enterprise automatically. Okay, so next one. Sometimes you have those situations where you are working, doing some work, and you might have multiple companies proofing your work. And this can be an example if you're working on a catalog. And let's just say, hypothetically, you've got a page on your catalog and it's got Samsung phone and an iPhone next to each other on the same page. Now, of course, those two are fierce competitors. So you don't want to send out two proofs. You don't want a proof for the Samsung approval and a proof for the Apple approval. That would be painful. So there is a feature called invisible reviewer comments that is available on Enterprise and can be switched on for Teams Plus as well. Invisible reviewer comments, this allows you to send out a proof. Your reviewers can comment on the proof, but they can't see each other's comments, but your team can see everything. All right, so it's perfect for that situation where you might have some sensitive content out there, as in sensitive to each other in terms of commenting. As I said, with the Apple and the Samsung phones on the same page, you want their feedback on the same proof because that would be wonderful for the changes, but you don't want them seeing each other's comments. So you can turn on invisible reviewer comments, and it's a setting when you upload a proof. You now get an extra setting to say, hey, invisible reviewer comments. So again, that's something that you can option in as well, and it's a pretty cool feature from that perspective of doing that. Okay, so some of the other things that you get inside of the Teams Plus, being able to co-brand, so improving the branding side of it. So again, if you go into the branding inside of here, by default, you can, upload. Part of Teams and Teams Plus is that you're able to put in an email header, so you can brand your email. You can also option in advanced branding. That is available on Enterprise, and it's optionable into Teams Plus, and it lets you put a footer, so you can replace the footer in the email templates of PageProof, get rid of all the PageProof footer and put your own one in. You're also able to go through and customize all of the colors inside of the email as well. So you can go in and say, well, buttons, I want them to be, let's just say maybe this color. So you can do that. And you'll see now it shows you a preview here. You can customize the email template with your own colors and link colors and all that sort of stuff. So this is the advanced branding feature, again available as an option into Teams Plus, and it's built into Enterprise as well. So that's something that you can do with the branding. And then lastly, in here, a good one to know is webhooks. So webhooks, this is where you want to be able to send information out to various systems, or you want to integrate Make into your workflow. You're like, oh, I would love to be able to use Make with PageProof and get it updating various things via Make. This is where webhooks come in. Webhooks included with Enterprise, optional on Teams Plus, but it means that you can now turn on webhooks and you can connect PageProof with various different systems. And I think the one that I really love is using PageProof with Make. So you turn on webhooks, connect it to Make, and then when a proof is approved, it fires over to Make, and then you can have Make go to all your different applications, or when a to-do list is returned, or even a proof is started, whatever it is, you're able to do that using webhooks. So webhooks included in Enterprise, optional on Teams Plus. So definitely something to take a look at. Now, Enterprise only features, we'll just switch up to that. These are things that cannot be included in Teams Plus. So there are a couple of things in there. So number one is the full audit. So if you go into the full audit, let's just jump in. I'll go into this proof here. If I turn on the audit, I can see there is the standard audit. That's the one that we all have from Teams, Teams Plus and Enterprise, we have the standard summary view. It's great. But in Teams and Teams Plus, you can't download this. You can't get this out as a file and store it somewhere else. So with Enterprise, you can download that. You also have the full audit view. So full audit view gives you every single event, every touch, every open, everything you could possibly want to know about this proof is suddenly available in the full audit view. So that is the difference between the summary, which you get in Teams and Teams Plus, and full audit, which is available only on Enterprise. You get everything. And then in Enterprise, you can save that as a CSV and store it somewhere. So that is a PageProof Enterprise only feature, good for compliance and those sorts of things. Another one, which is also available only on Enterprise, is data sovereignty. Now, this is getting into, hey, I want my data stored in a certain part of the world. So for example, if you have, let's just say you're a company based in Germany, and you know that your data must reside in Germany. Then on Enterprise, you're able to say, hey, everything to do with our account must stay in Germany. And you can configure that on PageProof Enterprise. Or if you're French, we have a French data center. If you're in the UK, it can be UK only. Australia, there's 4 different data centers throughout the United States. Japan, Brazil, South Africa. UAE, we have a whole range of different options where you can sovereigntize your data, which is a great feature for your enterprise plan. So you can do that. And then finally, you have the ability to turn on what's called SCIM, SCIM. This is an enterprise only feature. When you add people to your company, they automatically get added to PageProof if they are being added in the right way. So this just means you can automatically provision people for your PageProof account. So look, those are some of the things which Enterprise has. They are very enterprisey, and that's a good point. So I think for a lot of people, PageProof Enterprise gives you absolutely every feature that PageProof offers. And again, you can see it on that pricing page. But do take some time to have a look at the plan you're on. Again, just to double back that up, you go to your profile and you'll see which plan you're on here. And you can go to the pricing page and have a look through and see which features are available. Do take advantage of your plan. Know what your plan has and say, hey, wow, we can do this. I didn't realize. So definitely take a look. If you have any questions at all, talk to your customer success manager at PageProof. They will be able to advise on some of the things you might be interested in. But also, if you're on a Teams plan and you're not using the Adobe add-on, grab your CSM and get them to help you get that up and running, because you've got a plan. So let's take full advantage of it. And that's the whole point of this webinar, was just to make sure this is what we've got. Can I do an integration with Monday? Yes, you can. I've got this plan. Can I use the Adobe integration? Yes, you can. So there's all these things which I think I just want to highlight for everyone. So that concludes the PageProof webinar for today. All right, well, thank you very much, everybody. We've sort of hit time on that. If anybody has any questions, customer success is the way to go, and they will be able to answer anything for you. Until the next Academy, have a great rest of your week. Thanks, everyone.